Howdy folks, it's Jack Pickleson here, and I'm doing another video where I talk and ramble about things. Hello! And I'm doing the thing that everyone loves, the thing that everyone clicks on YouTube for. Tier lists! Yes! Yes, yes, yes. So the last Rivals 2 beta is coming up this weekend, and I kind of want to give my thoughts before we get into it about where I think the characters stand. Couple things to know about this before we get into it. I have played Rivals 1. I used to stream it quite a bit, actually. I really like Rivals 1. I really wish that game caught on, but you know how it is. People are finicky, I suppose. And then, I played Project Plus for a long time. Project M as well. Like, they're the same thing, pretty much. And I have some context with this game of what it used to be, basically the Rivals 1. And one thing to note when doing a tier list always is you got to remember it's not gospel. I'm right, obviously, and everything I say is really cool and awesome, and you should like, comment, and subscribe. But but always remember that like tier lists aren't set in stone no matter how good the person is. It's all based on like tournament results, where do you think a character's potential is, how ease of use like versus their toolkit is, like how well they do. Like it's basically kind of like a gauge, not always one-to-one. And something specific about Rivals is it's very balanced, I think. I also don't like using lettered tier list. I think it kind of makes you have this mentality of the characters are in different dimensions, and like, for example, you can't play this character or that character. I mean, that's been proven wrong in even Melee, So I have got my own little system. If somebody had me locked in a room and they were beating me with various like stale meats to get this answer out of me, I would say there isn't a character in this game that's lower than Melee Falcon. I would say maybe a little lower, but I don't think there's anybody in here that's lower than the low high tier in Melee. Like, that's where the disparity of character strength, and I don't think anyone's quite on Fox level, I would say. Like, I think the top tiers in this game are almost Melee Fox level. I don't think anyone's like PM. Well, I don't know. Tough. But I would definitely say that the disparity between the characters is vast. Anybody can compete. Anyone can win top 8, definitely, or get to grand finals and win. No one is struggling. Everyone has a functional toolkit in this. So anyway, let's get done. We're done with that big old ramble. You know me, I love to talk. I love to gas it up and just say dumb stuff forever. Longest intro ever, huh? I'll try to keep this quick, since we don't have like 3,000 years. Who am I gonna put at the top? Yeah, it's Maple. Maple, I think, is the best character in the game. It's not even close. It's not even close, man. Like, well, it is close, but like, I will say that like, I feel strongly that she's, and it's not like he runs circles around everybody, but it's very apparent that combos, she kills. Her character-specific trait is very easy to set up. She does not struggle very much to recover. Grabs are good. Like, she has the whole thing, and like the way she kills is very, very good. Her little hunter's mark allows her to like when she hits with like something that can entangle you, she gets a smash attack and easily kill you. She can like tether to you if she knocks you up. Like, and that seed is just so fast. Her plant that she sets up is very hard to deal with because it was hard to deal with before, but now it's even harder since Barry's slower. It just does thing. She's so fast. That's one of the things that like it boils down to is she's so incredibly fat. I don't know. But yeah, I think she's very, very strong. Fleet! Poop. Another strong character, another easy to set up character with their thing, and like combos, kills, recovers well. Like that's the thing. But a big thing about that gives her a lot of strength here is the side B. The side B is like a really big part of it. Somebody made the comparison between it and Link's Boomerang, and I incredibly disingenuous. First of all, nothing like it's kind of like it, but imagine Link throwing a tiny boomerang, then bigger boomerang. It's 3 times. Appears behind him that they can run at and combo with. Not to mention he doesn't have to catch it. No risk to him. So that's where Fleet is, and then she can float. She's Peach for some reason, and also kind of Fox. Yeah, she doesn't really struggle a whole lot. The only thing I could say is maybe she gets a little awkward at spots close up, but that's about it. She doesn't really suffer. Not really very much of a very low commitments to a lot of her things. Shoots a little Falco down air. Like you thought Martha had like no commitment with that kind of stuff. She definitely doesn't. But that isn't to say that she's unbeatable. Neither of these two are unbeatable by any means. I feel like they have a better tool. Oh, next up we have the doesn't struggle tier. Yes, these are the only 2 characters I'm going to put in meta because you usually see those 2 at top 8, or those are the 2 that people generally gravitate to. I've noticed. But anyway, these characters next up are characters that don't struggle at all. They are a lot like these 2, but like they're just very slightly weaker. Like their game plan is like a little harder to set up, or they don't kill as well, or something of the combination of the 2. And you can even argue that they could be in this tier. Honestly, you could have a strong case for half the cast to just be in the meta tier. Honestly. But, yeah, I would put, my first up is Zeta. Not quite a surprise there, I don't think. I don't think that's a hot take. But the spacey of the game is very, very good. He's pretty much Wolf from PM. He's not exactly a direct facsimile of Fox, but he's pretty close. And he's actually brilliantly designed. I really like how Zeta works out in this game. Like, I think a little bit of it is unintentional, but I think might be the perfect spacey. I don't know. But he is quite amazing in this game. Fire is very easy to land, and more knockback, more kill power is very, very good on a character. You always want that. His weakness, I guess, would be like a forward-facing spacing tool. Like, he doesn't have like a back air or an air to wall you out. But he does have decent moves. It's just like it's a little awkward at times, I guess. Is the only thing I could say. I'm really nitpicky. I'm trying to find. Yeah, can adapt to any situation pretty much. Kills. Recovery. Yeah. Zeta burn. I know it sounds a little underwhelming when I talk about these characters, but like honestly, it's really hard to find weaknesses. Not lump them in one tier. Next up we got Frogman. This is the character I play, and I'm sure you're like, well, Pickle, of course you downplay him. Of course you'd have him like on the 4th spot here. He should be in meta tier. And you know what? I wouldn't really argue with you. I mean, I would argue that the other characters are slightly better, but I'm not gonna I'm gonna let you have that one if you really want it. You know, I'm not gonna pedantic the right word? I don't know. I don't read that well. But yeah, Rano doesn't really struggle with a whole lot. I honestly can't think of a weakness for him. Maybe his recovery's kind of linear in parts, and you can edgeguard it if you're looking out for it. Bubble is it's setup time. His character trait, the stacks, isn't as strong as say I know. Oh, I didn't mention with this fleet, but she's sticky. And she can buff her bow. Nice. Yeah, I don't think it's as strong as the other characters, but that's not to say it's not. It's pretty good. I would just argue that like he doesn't have as high as a ceiling as the other. You know, he can't pressure as hard as like Zetaburn. He isn't overly oppressive as like Fleet or Maple, but he is very strong and combos well with Gills. All that shenanigan. He is really really. Claren. The Marth of the game. Who would have thought that putting Marth in a game would be a good character? She's extremely good. Her character trait is also very underwhelming comparing to the others, but it's still really good. It's just like, it's not as strong as having more kill power or having damage over time and locking you into a thing, or like I said, but it's still really good. It pauses you and allows you to get more confirms. Having a sword is always good. She has great kill power. Very difficult to deal with recovery, even when you parry it. Combos well, kills well, fast. Yeah, she's a little awkward. It feels like that sword is a lot heavier. Marth's sword is obviously like paper thin, and he can around. There's kind of like a tempo with Claren. I feel like when I play her and when I see her, like her combos are kind of clunky, but not really. You play her, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But it's not as simple as like Marth. You kind of just like shit works with him. Claren, you gotta like know what you're doing. It still is very effective. It's just like it's not as easy mode, like kind of in my soul as that. So let me take a little quick drink of my coffee. Cold coffee. Love it. Alright, next here is Slight Struggle. These characters struggle slightly. I'm going to put Crag at the top of that. Anybody who's seen Crag or has dealt with him might be a little surprised, but there is a method to this madness. Like all the other characters, he does not struggle with combos. He doesn't struggle with killing. He has a good character trait. The block, very good thing to have. He has multiple ways to set up things. He got crazy cheese, the pillar nonsense. To put you, he's DK. Like he has a lot of ways to kill you. A lot of cheese. Gets back from a lot of things. He's heavy. He doesn't die very easily. He's a very good character. The only reason I'm ranking him lower is because his disadvantage state, when he has that block, rough. Can't do anything. Like the other characters, there is no disadvantage doing their thing. Like, what kind of disadvantage does Maple have? None. She throws a seed. It's so fast, she can just do it. With Fleet, what's her disadvantage? Does she have a critical fail on her stuff? It doesn't look like she does. Like the dice, that's her thing, right? I would almost argue that her side piece is more important, but that's irrelevant. Zetaburn, what was he? Fire? That's not hard to set up. Claren, she pokes you. That's not difficult. Bugman, however, has to pull up a rock, and when that rock is pulled, it's really good when he throws it. He can do some crazy shit, but he has to throw it. And if he's too close and he gets comboed, he's screwed. He is super screwed. But yeah, that's a very slight disadvantage. I would also, even the fact that he's fat, it makes him easy to combo. Plus, he's a fast faller. Didn't know that. I didn't realize that. Makes sense. But yeah, very easy to combo as well. Big body, but probably one of the best big bodies in platform fighter I've ever seen. You could honestly make a case for him. It doesn't struggle, honestly. Like I said, character disparity is... Next up, this is my most controversial take. And I say this because I was recently watching a tournament, and I was hearing the commentary, and somebody was talking about how they think Raster is. this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this. Just to get my thoughts out there and like how I feel, but also to say no one really knows. Like, and everyone's points are pretty valid, I think. Uh, Game is in a beta, so I don't think anyone really knows for sure. And even then, I think there are valid arguments. I barely see Raster. I barely ever see him. I I don't fight him a whole lot, and I'm never really threatened by him. The big thing about him is, yeah, he can kill. Yeah, he can combo, and he can recover. But like, his win condition seems very linear. The tornado is goes in a straight horizontal line, and it's also like slightly slower than maybe I'm just tripping, but the only thing he gets is a movement buff. While that's good, it only just like enhances his combo. It doesn't like exactly like make him stronger in any regard. It just, and like the setup isn't really as blatant as say like when Baron hits you with Tipper or something like that. It's good, but it's not really. I'm trying to think of the word. Ah, blatant, blatant. The advantage you get. I guess I'm doing something with my hands. Uh, I just think not as good characters. Plus, he's light too, and he's hard to set things up. He's got the clap, and he's got so much end lag after those things. Like, I don't. Not as strong as the other characters. That's not to say you can't do well for him. Like I said, 4 or 5 times now, but like, yeah, he's not struggling to get to top 8. I just think the other characters. Next up, we got Loxodon. I'm not putting him here. Hard time top 8. Anyone who's seen Lox recently, yeah, I'm sorry about your luck there, but your boy is having a hard time. The thing about Lox is like I don't really think like I said, I don't think he's a bad character by any means. It's just he struggles to kill, and the magma armor thing is probably the most gimmicky. I was trying to talk about Raster, say that his is not as uh a blatant win condition as the other characters. Pillar, rock, hit stun, a thing that traps you for better punishes it. Damage over time, knockback. I don't know. And then easier trapping for kills. I don't think Magma Armor is really that great. Unless it like gives him a buff in like defensively. The explosion is not good. Well, comparatively. It's alright. But you still have to set it up, and it's not really that strong. It takes a long time to set up. I just think it's not great. His combo game is actually pretty good. Very hard to deal with. Big ass hitboxes. That is his up tilt is disgusting. Forward tilt is pretty great at setting up. I really like what I've seen some Loxes do. They do like aerial side B, knock you on the ground, and then do a jab reset with net first hit in air. Ooh, that looks so good. But yeah, he can combo really well. And the meatball is decent, but it's like kind of hard to interact with and like set it up for specific things. Like I would rather like Rano's needles or Zedaburn's fire is way like the hell even Crag's even well I wouldn't say Raster's is better, but Crag's block is better. So. But yeah, he just struggles so fat. If I was gonna say anything, I would give him something else out of that charge. Maybe give him a truck on the ground. That'd be cool. give him Ganon's down B. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. He'd still have to charge. Get magma armor for it. Still be something. And then we got Orcane, and I honestly do not know where to put this character. I have no idea. Well, actually, I do have an idea, but yeah, I didn't fight any because I was at Warehouse War 4, the weekend of the beta he came out. So I didn't fight any of them. I fought a bunch of crags and some fleets and a couple frogs. That's about it. I didn't fight. I didn't fight. And from what I've seen, I still don't know. I don't know when to put this character. Gun to my head, probably right here is where I'd put him. But that's just me, just like throwing the character in there because that just looks aesthetically pleasing to me. But yeah, I don't know where exactly to put Orcane. But yeah, this is Pickler's tier list before the final beta. This is where I think characters are. I think the only character I'm gonna have people look at me weird is Rasker. Every time I talk about it, like people look at me weird, and I would love to hear you guys' feedback because I would like a differing opinion. I'd like to hear it, just so I can like formulate it better in my own head. But I just think he's a little, not very effective. That's just me. Everything else I stand by, but I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts, comments, all that jazz. I don't think I'll be able to stream Rivals 2 on Friday. I think I gotta work, but I will be able to on Saturday and Sunday. Look forward to some more content, some Rivals content. I'll actually upload matches, hopefully. And thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed my crappy tier list. Tell me how much it sucks, or how much you love what I talk about. Bye! Oh my god, I'm right all the time! Video. Wait, did I hit stop recording?